Yes, greetings and welcome to another episode of the TIHA Archival Conversations. My name is Victor Mukasa and I'm your host, as usual, of these very powerful conversations. The TIHA Conversations are brought to you by Trans and Intersex History Africa. Trans and Intersex History Africa, for those who are joining us for the first time, we are an activist driven setting where we document and archive and keep safely the histories of trans and intersex Africans across the continent and its diaspora. So, even today, we shall be doing that, documenting and listening to very powerful histories of siblings from Africa. Um, on today's show, I would like, for those of you who have just joined us, also you can join us. You can look at all this work that we do through the archival conversations, through the timeline on our website, through interviews and other multimedia. Uh, you can access those on our website, trans and intersex history.africa, as you see on your screens. Now, as we do that, we actually do capture the stories, the struggles, the achievements of trans and intersex individuals and movements, stories or histories or achievements that are usually erased from mainstream narratives. So, this is the place where you will find it. It is African by activists and led by activists with activists in on the continent. So again, welcome to these conversations today, and today being another very special day, our lenses are actually focused on the country called Ghana. It is they're focused on the country called Ghana, where we are joined by two powerhouses: Shone Adjei, founder of Key Watch Ghana, one of the few intersex-led organizations on the continent, and Salamatu Yakunu, a passionate intersex advocate doing vital work at the grassroots in Ghana, say Africa. These are powerhouses, and we will be listening. So today's conversation traces the intersex journey in Ghana, from times of deep silence and shame to moments of courage, victory, voice, visibility, name it. So let us begin by having Shone and Salamatu on the stage. Thank you very much. You are most welcome to the TIHA Archival Conversations, Shone and Salamatu. I'll give you a moment to introduce yourselves even further, if you so wish, to our viewers and listeners. Shone?
Hello, viewers all over the world. My name is Shone Adjei. I'm the founder and executive director of Key Watch Ghana and the lead member of the Intersex Movement Ghana. Thank you and over.
Thank you, Shone. Thank you, Shone. Welcome to the TIHA Archival Conversations. Yes, Salamatu. Salamatu, you are muted. We don't hear you. We would love to hear your voice.
Okay, please, sorry. Hello, everyone.
That's fine.
Greetings. My name is Salamatu Yakunu, an intersex person and a co-director with Shone, and also a management lead for Key Watch Ghana and Intersex Movement Ghana.
Wow, you are welcome to the TIHA Archival Conversations. Welcome, Key Watch Ghana, to these conversations. Welcome, world, to these conversations. Thank you so much. So we will begin with a little icebreaker. I feel that I also need to break my ice. And usually we ask a question about where countries are located. And today, we will start with you, Sean. Geographically, where is Ghana? Number one. Number two, Ghana is known as the gateway to Africa. I didn't know. Now I know. But why is Ghana the gateway to Africa?
Hey, thank you very much, Victor. Ghana is located in the West Africa region of Africa. Ghana is one of the 16 countries in West Africa, and Ghana is located between Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Burkina Faso, and the Gulf of Guinea. The Gulf of Guinea is the sea
Ah,
that borders Ghana. Yes.
which color is Ghana on this map?
So Ghana is like the white with a little
Ah,
lake in between the map. Yeah.
I see. I see.
Yes, that is Ghana. Yeah. So we are
Wonderful.
bordered at the north by Burkina Faso, at
Yes.
the west by Cote d'Ivoire, and then at the east by Togo, and the south by the Gulf of Guinea, which is the sea. Yes.
Wow. Interesting. Some of the countries surrounding Ghana are francophone. Do you speak French in Ghana?
Yes. Yes. So this came about before the World War II, where
Okay.
the British and the French were scaffolding. Germany was scaffolding over Ghana and West African countries and
Yes.
the trans-Atlantic
Atlantic.
slave trade. So
Uh-huh.
after the end of the war, many the countries were divided according to the trade routes. So
Right.
Ghana had a British trade route. First
Ah,
was began from the Portuguese route, now to the Dutch, all the way to the British, and became the center of slave trade to the world. Yeah, so we have
that's
all the
Ghana.
forts. Yes, so you need to come and visit your heritage from where the slaves from Caribbean and the Americas were all taken from. Yes, the castles and the forts are all over here, and they are major tourism centers for people who want to trace their roots to where they are
Wow.
from as Africans, as Black
It makes a lot
Africans.
of sense why so many people trace their roots back to Ghana. It is
Ghana,
because
yes,
that was the last point they stepped on as they left Africa. Is that
yes.
why Ghana is the gateway?
Okay, Ghana is seen as a gateway, one, because of the central location.
Okay.
So Ghana, it's close to the sea, and with all the amenities that the sea can provide, the ports and the access to the major ports. So Ghana have two major ports. We are now building a third major port. So
Right.
the landlocked countries like Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, most of them take their importations or their sea freight all the way from Accra, from the Tema, from our
Wonderful.
port of Akradi, all the way up to the north. So it's easier to send goods to other parts of West Africa through Ghana. Then we also have the proximity to neighbors. So Ghana has this good interneighboring spirit and love. Ghana is easily accessible in the sub-region here, in the West Africa region here. So we have this good proximity to our neighbors. And the economic importance. Ghana is not the richest in West Africa, but Ghana has a strong economic background because of our prolonged democracy
Right.
prolonged democracy. So it makes it easier for people to invest in Ghana. And if you want to
Yes.
get into African countries, it makes it easier to pass through Ghana. And also Ghana does a lot of negotiation on behalf of other countries. So we
So
became the gate.
yes, so Ghana is the gateway
Yes,
because of all the aspects that Sean
yes,
named for us. And I just learned as I was reading about the gateway earlier on that Ghana was actually the first country to be colonized. I mean,
get independent
to regain its
in the
independence
Sub-Sahara.
in
Yes,
Africa, and
yeah,
but kind of opened doors for other
yes,
revolutionaries
yeah,
across the
yes,
continent.
yes,
So
yes.
yes,
And
Ghanaians, Ghana, we salute you. Thank you very much, Sean. And let's break the ice, Salamatu. I have always had the Black Stars in soccer in the World Cup on the continent, and Ghana is famously known as the it's famous Black Star of Africa. Why the Black Star of Africa?
Okay. So Ghana is known as the Black Star of Africa because of our history, where we are rich in gold, cocoa, and diamond.
Ah,
Yes. And we are the first to gain independence.
yes, that's a big deal.
So that is the reason why Ghana is the Black Star of Africa.
Where we have
So
black
today I
people,
say
black
I'm
stuff.
a very proudly Ghanaian.
Yeah, I wish that this show was about Ghana, just Ghana, because yeah, I'm learning a lot about Ghana today. But really, we just need to dive. For those of you out there, read about Ghana. It's a very interesting nation. But for today, we are going to hear a different line that is erased from the story about Ghana, and that the journey of the intersex movement in that beautiful country. So diving into that, let us go back to the beginnings. The beginning, and that is before the beginnings. The organization we are hosting today is Key Watch Ghana, an intersex-led organization, the first of its kind in that country, and one of the few on the continent of Africa. We have the leaders here, co-directors, and they will be taking us through this journey. Shone and Salamatu. Again, welcome to the show. The first question I would like to ask for this conversation is life before Key Watch Ghana. Like, what was life for intersex people before Key Watch Ghana? What language was used in communities? How did communities receive intersex people? Were there names for intersex people? Like, what was life like for intersex people? And each one of you can give their account what they recall.
Okay. So life before intersex work in Ghana, before Key Watch Ghana, is basically like my personal life and history. So
Yes.
it began with years of adolescent to early adult years of not knowing what was wrong with me, not knowing what was um, in terms of my health. We couldn't even have a name medically for it, and just managing the pains and the mentally pains I get from my teenage years. And it became my little shame, became my little something I have hidden for years until 2018 when I met my godfather, Davis Makiala. Yes. So life
Oh,
began, yes. Yes. So life began always. So I was already known in the space. It wasn't about either sexuality or identity at all. But for the intersex condition was something I felt it's a sickness I had to have. I felt it's something I didn't have to own up to. So when I met Davis in the Rainbow Catholic platform, and then we met in Ghana, so I became sick because I had every month, 3, 4, 5 days, severe abdominal cramps, severe weakness, and I'm a very feminine person. And trying to become masculine, it was never working, being laughed at. So Davis spoke to me and was like, this thing, it looks like something I know, but I'm not sure. But I have a doctor friend. Are you ready for us to explore? So I said, okay, me, I don't know what it is. I've been managing it with painkillers. And I've done so many labs from my adolescent years to date, and I couldn't know what it was. And there was no name. So just managing, telling my hormones were not, the male hormones are not enough, they were depleting, and all manner of things.
right.
And I got tired of taking medication. So when he took me and they explained, and it's when I was like, oh, okay. But still, I was not comfortable. I was not comfortable with
Right.
that, with expressing it. But with him, it guided me and exposed me to learn more about my sex characteristics. And through that, I became curious to find other people
Yes.
like me. So I started asking questions to doctors. Do you know anybody else to give you one child or one parent? And that is
So,
how the whole thing started. Yes.
yeah, so this little shame, as you named it, sadly,
Yeah. Yeah.
did other people in your school, in your communities know about it?
Yes, in the
And
schools,
what was their reaction?
I was seen as a truant child because it was obvious that this particular time of the month that some days I don't have to come to school. I come to school, I'm in my sweat jacket and always feeling cold, very
Right.
tiny, and yes, hiding myself. So I was seen as a sickler, but I wasn't a sickler. At a point, they thought I had a holy heart issue.
Yeah.
I did all the tests, it was not holy heart. So they just let me go. allow me, but I was not allowed to play ball, to move with anybody. I
Yes.
was shunned away because
Yeah.
nobody knew what it was, but some even thought I was just being a lazy child. Yes,
That's
but it
a
also
very
helped me to try to know others. So this was when the Intersex awakening and loving myself started. Yes,
yes. We will
loving
get there.
myself started. Yeah.
We will get there. And thank you so much for sharing that painful story that, is the story of so many intersex people, across the continent. Thank you very much. Salamatu, growing up, did you hear any names or words used to refer to intersex people? What was your story like?
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you,
So,
too.
growing up, let's say I found about my condition when I was a teenage, at age 14, when I wasn't having my periods because my younger siblings, when my younger siblings were having their periods, but I wasn't having mine. So
Mhm.
my mom got worried and decided to go to the hospital to run a checkup. So after the scans got ready, the doctors told us that I was born without a womb. That is why I'm not having my periods, and that was the only thing they told me until I went to my senior high school. I went to a girls' school where I see my female friends having experiencing their periods, having cramps and things. So mostly I got confused and I asked, "What is going on?" Then they tell me, and then I tell them, "Okay, so I don't experience this kind of thing." So it got to a time I got depressed, especially, I'm a Muslim, and for instance, when it's in the month of Ramadan where you don't have to fast because you're having your periods, but
Yeah.
I always have to fast for the 30 days complete
Yes.
and pray every day because as a Muslim woman, when you are menstruating, you don't have to pray the 5 daily prayers. So actually, this made me so sad and depressed. So I completed my SHS and then I got married. So before I got married, we told him that this is what the doctor said, so I cannot have a child. He said,
Mhm.
"Okay, no problem. So far as we are Muslims, polygamy is allowed. He can marry someone later." Said, "Okay." So it was after the marriage, I mean, my wedding night, we got to know that I cannot have a penetrative sex because I have a blind end vagina. So after
Right.
8 months of marriage, I got divorced, and when I came back home, my mom took me to the hospital again to run further tests where it was covered that I have XY chromosomes, I have testicles, and I have no ovaries, meaning I am male biologically,
Mhm.
but externally looking female. Yes.
Right.
So basically, that is the life before Intersex Ghana and Keywatch Ghana. So I lived in
Oh,
depression
wow.
and anxiety.
That's a very deep story, and we thank you for having the courage to share that. I am sure somebody out there uh, can benefit from it if it's their experience or if they know somebody like this. And for both of you, again, I would like to ask, and I've always wanted to ask when we have intersex guests here, but I forget too. During the time before you started to organize, this period that we are talking about, did any of your parents or friends or relations try to go the traditional African way, hoping that this is where the solutions might be?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, 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 yes. So I was taken to a lot of the churches for prayers. I was
Right.
mix a lot of concoctions to mix for me too. I also was given a coach to teach me how to work more manly, to try to bring out the manliness out of me, and also to try to manage everything that the way it looks, the way the system is, the probability of you having a meaningful life, having children one day will be very low. So let's treat it. So they put me in various, since my mother was a single parent then, and I had to be with her alone, and she was a Christian, or she's a
Yeah.
Christian. I went to a lot of church after church, just trying to
Right.
get delivered. Then herbal places, also to mix concoctions, thinking that the pains, because the doctors could not identify any word to tell us.
Yeah.
So from all my years of teenage years until 2018, when Davis told me, suspect that this is an intersex condition, I didn't even know the word for it. That is how sad it was. And we went to places just to find the traditional places, the church, just to find a solution to it, and it was never available. And it was exhausting going one
Yeah.
after the other,
Yeah.
and
I'm sure it was.
pastors laying hands on you and pouring anointing oil over your mouth. Drink it, and you'll be fine. The spirit, there is a marine spirit entering you. It's a marine spirit want to take over you. You've been married in spirit to something. That is why the female spirit is in you. They cast it all out. It refused to go. Yeah.
Yo, Sean, that's deep. That's deep. But thank you for sharing that. It adds on to what others like us need to hear. Salamatu, did you have any experiences with traditional African or some spiritual kind of interventions?
Yes, please. So I quite remember when I was growing, but then I was having a flat chest without breast. So I took myself to this herbalist person to give me a medicine to develop breasts like any other girl, because I
Right.
see my friends having breasts, so I wanted to also have what they are having. So
Hmm.
and this person gave me medicine which never worked.
Salamatu, you were giving us, were telling us about your experience
Yes. So
as a child in Ghana, trying to seek breasts and checking on a traditional healer.
yes. So my mom took me to I don't know if you know cupping, where they use sharp blade to cut your back and then use a cup to remove toxic blood.
Something is a little
Like,
familiar.
yes, okay. So they told my mom, if you do this, maybe there are blood clots, maybe there's something going on. If you do this, she's going to have a period. She's going to be fine. She's going to be okay. She's going to be normal. So I went through that where sharp blades will be used on my back, and then the blood will be extracted. Another one is when people were attacking the old lady who backed me when they gave it to me as a baby, that she
Yes.
knows what is going on. Other people saying my dad and my mom did something. I should ask them. They'll tell me the
Oh,
truth. A whole lot of things. They're telling me no, they are spirits who took my womb away because as a
oh,
woman, there is no lady on this earth who is born without a womb. Like, it made me so confused.
yeah.
At a time, it got to a time I was living in a state of fear and hope.
Just fears, the thinking spirits are all over you, trying to
Yes.
snatch you away piece by piece.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. These are really very deep, touching stories. But we thank you so much for the bravery to actually share them. A lot of people must be going through or similar situations, and thank you so much. I think that at some point we might have you back here as individuals to share what you might want to share about your personal stories if you think that it could be useful to people. Those of you who have just joined us, we are hosting Key Watch Ghana, the two leaders of Key Watch Ghana, Adjei, founding director, and Salamatu Yakubu is a co-director right now. Both intersex activists and doing amazing, tremendous work in Ghana. Key Watch Ghana was the first intersex-led organization in Ghana. And a big shout out to Davis Makiala, Chief Igwe, for the support you've given our communities. So many testimonies about you and your contributions to people's lives across the continent. So thank you so much. Now, we go to the spark to organize because there was a spark. And Sean, in 2017, right, is when you founded Key Watch Ghana. What was the moment, the thing, the thought that pushed you to create something formal for intersex people in Ghana?
Okay, so the funding started in 2015 and
20.
registered in 2017. So what happened is that I've been in the HIV space for MSM's program, working on the Global Fund program for years.
Right.
And I got a scholarship to attend the CFCF back in 2015 or 14 in Kenya.
In Kenya, yes.
So Navasha, and on return, it's when I said, no, there's more we can do than we are doing. So we started Key Watch Ghana as a community-based movement of 16 persons that I put together in
All
2015.
intersex people?
No,
No.
community
Okay.
members,
All right.
16 persons together to start the movement in the Volta region of Ghana. So Volta is like a rural compared to Greater Accra. Yeah, so Ghana has 16 regions. Then it was 10 regions. So Volta is one of the regions in Ghana with OB the capital. So I put together community members because we didn't have anything for us in that locality. So we started with 16 persons. So I always call them my 16 co-founders. So 16 people came together from all walks of life to start the movement. So by 2016, Ghana has its own national movement known as the Alliance for Equality and Diversity, known as AFED. So now there was a need for AFED to have regional groups. So my regional group I put together for my 16 persons in the Volta region now had to be migrated to become AFED. And so the movement I was building gradually with the other 15 persons making us 16.
Yes.
Now became the same group migrated to the AFED Volta region. And it was just the Key Watch Ghana was just left there. It's like everybody has migrated off it. So
Yes.
2017, I decided, okay, why don't you register this and put it down? So I registered it and put it down, and we're not really functioning until 2018 when I met Davis Makiela, and it's like, no, you have this audition. It's a lot. I am not hearing it in Ghana. This Intersex, you can do it. And I was
Yes.
like, I'm shy, I'm scared, I don't want to know. I'm okay being tagged as queer or anything, but I don't want people to know about my sex characteristic. I think it's a shame. So it's throughout that whole year, it took almost a year for him to groom me into accepting my sex characteristics. And he referred me to, oh, talk to this person, talk to this doctor, talk to this person abroad, in Kenya, in many places he was giving me contacts, and you will know more about your condition. Then I knew only my condition. Then I didn't know we had 46 plus condition. So through his strong encouragement, I pick it up. And picking it up, I have organization registered since 2017 that we were not using.
2017 is the
official.
But you started off already 2015,
yes,
beginning the roots of the organization.
The roots, yes. So 2017, I gathered my, by then I knew about 5 other people who are so intersex all over. So I said, okay, come together, let's start this. And then when we started, the very people who were my 16 constituents, where people were inviting to meetings and educating and hearing our stories and all that, and mapping all around. We joined groups like OLS to do a national mapping. We drove around the country. So when they are talking about OBQ, we are talking about intersex. Talking and mapping and getting to know other people. So when we can even hear, oh, there's somebody 6 hours away, we go just to get to know another intersex person. And this is how it started, gradually.
Thank you. That is a very positive story, and we are so happy to capture it here at TIHA. And Salamatu, how did you first learn about Key Watch Ghana? Do you remember the first time it felt and how it felt like? After that story that you have given us of all those struggles.
Okay, so through the advocacy of Key Watch Ghana,
yes,
I was discovered by Shone. So through him, we got to know that there are a lot of intersex persons, and I'm not alone. So Intersex Movement Ghana was found in 2022 with just 6 intersex persons who came together, discussed, and then decided to form a movement where intersex persons can share their emotions, support each other, and you know, help each other. Yes. So and in 2023, where we had our first AGM, annual general meeting, But before the AGM, yes, through our advocacy, before the AGM, we discovered lots of intersex persons where we selected people to apply for a position where voting took place, and each region voted for their regional representative. And also we have 4 national executives, which is the president, the secretary, the treasurer, and yes. So intersex persons. So and they were inducted to office after the AGM, and there was an outreach.
Yeah.
In all the regions, we have 9. Okay, so at first, Ghana has 10 regions, but
Yes.
then now it's 16 regions. So we had 9 representatives from 9 regions.
From each of the
regions. But as time went on, we went to each region for advocacy, where we found out more intersex persons, and now we are about 133 intersex persons. You can see the results of our advocacy.
From
yes,
6,
and
from 1
yes,
to 6
yes,
to 133.
yes, meaning there are a lot of people hiding, but because of
Yes.
the shame and discrimination.
Yeah, tell me something. What you're saying is that Key Watch Ghana is not just a Volta region organization, it's now a national organization.
A national
Yes,
organization.
Bravo,
With a
congratulations.
structured office based in Accra.
Wow, interesting.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much. And I think that how did you people find the other and this starts with you, Sean. How do you find the 6? You know, because I have a feeling that many of them had this little shame, as you called it. How did you manage? And even today, how do you manage to do that, Salamata? Like, how did you manage to find the first 6 intersex identifying people in Ghana? Sean.
Okay.
Okay, if I can chip that in.
Yes.
If I can chip that in. So the first 6 were founded from the community.
Right.
You remember that I was working as a field officer for the MSM program on the Global Fund HIV prevention programs nationally.
Yes.
So I had to go to places to educate on HIV.
Right.
So when I met a community and I finished education on HIV, I also tell them about intersex. So I then leave my contact. So once you go, at least you get one person who will call.
Yes.
So my 10 years of working in the HIV field is where I map out the people.
It helps. It
So
helps.
once we started educating from internal, so when we educated the community, our minority community first, then we found our intersex from there. Then they reach out. Because then some did not even know what the condition they had was intersex. So once we go to every village, every town, we give the education, we get people. Then when we move to the traditional leaders and stakeholders, that's when we started getting the children, the mothers, and other people, the bigger numbers coming in. But the first seed was from the community.
Now that you talk about the community, Salamatu, I've read about the Queen Mothers, and what are these Queen Mothers like in that traditional setting? What have you done with those communities? But who are these Queen Mothers?
Okay, so these Queen Mothers are traditional rulers. They are traditional rulers that govern their society pertaining women issue and girl issue. So these women help in shaping of girl child, like their education, their sanity, and a whole lot of things. For instance, when marital issue arises, it's through them, it goes to them. And when an intersex person is born, you know, they are mothers. Like, life begins with them. So like most of these things comes to them.
So when did you start interacting with Queen Mothers and those traditional leaders, and how was that?
Okay, so after we found a lot of intersex persons, we decided to do to go for an outreach, like meeting the paramount queen mothers in all the 10 regions in Ghana. Because the reason why we went for this outreach is because a lot of intersex persons are being murdered and killed, which sometimes are being brought to these queen mothers. And because they are mothers, they have this pity and empathy and sympathy. Yes. So and anytime we reach out to them, we hear them saying, okay, so this case ever came to me and we solved it this way. So for instance, we went to the upper west region, where we went for an outreach to meet the paramount queen mothers, where they were telling us that they didn't know about intersex, and that a year before we came for the outreach, they murdered an intersex infant born with ambiguous genitalia, that's both the male and the female organ, just because they didn't know, and they feel that this child is an abomination, this child is a curse, and this child has to go back. So through this outreach, the queen mothers helped in shaping the queen mothers helped us in reaching out to more intersex persons, more intersex infants, and some of the queen mothers themselves got to know about their condition, which they never knew. They know they are suffering and going through something which they never know the name, but through our advocacy and our outreach, they got to know that, okay, so they are somehow intersex and part of us.
Big work that you have done, comrades, there. Thank you so much, Salamatu. Shone, over the years, when you start outreach, as Salamatu talks about it, you start outreach, you're meeting these traditional leaders, you're meeting religious leaders. For the first time, we have out people saying we are intersex and we want to talk about this. Do you remember any specific reactions that are worth talking about during that period, the first interactions that you had about intersex people?
Yes. So let me first explain the role of queen mothers. And when we say queen mothers in Ghana, they are not wives of chiefs or kings. They are rulers on their own authority. So in every traditional...
And they're powerful, respected?
Yes. Every traditional chiefdom, there's a king and there's a queen. The queen is not the wife of the king. So the king is the male head and the queen is the female head. So like the head and tail of every queen. Yes, so the queen have powers similar as the king. And there are also some women who are installed as kings because they are taking the stool of their fathers, who was the king, but there's no male child to inherit. So some women are also, although they are women, they are installed or given the title as a king. So we saw that as mothers who give birth, who are saddled with a lot of birth and things, strategically, it will be better if we start looking at the mothers first. Because
that's a very big one.
Yes, it was difficult to get stakeholders to listen to us. Sometimes institutions to even come to our programs. But and then these are the owners of the land. The lands in Ghana do not belong to the government. It belongs to the chiefs and queen mothers. Traditional authority, they own the land. So if the owners of the land understand you and welcome you, it will be easier. So how do we get to the chiefs and the kings? They were difficult. They were, most of them, patriarchy and authority, so it was difficult to get to the kings. Right. But the queen mothers were welcoming. So in the Volta region, under the Open Society funded program, we're supposed to just do one traditional leaders engagement. So we invited about 5 traditional leaders, and we're having the meeting in a hotel. Traditional queen mothers, they have their national executive. So it's a Friday. Then the president and the one queen mother were also resident in the same hotel. So when they saw their colleague, 5 of them coming to our program in the traditional regalia, they crashed into the room. What is going on here? We also want to sit in. How come they didn't inform national executive that there's going to be a queen mothers meeting here? Who gave them the permission to be here? So they get crashed into the room. So we give them seats, give them water, sit down and listen. After the presentation on intersex violation, they started crying.
As intersex people, you respected them. You went equal.
Yes, I gave them seats. After the presentation, they were so mesmerized, and they told us that
So
they
much
misjudged us
information.
because they saw most of us, we were very feminine, the ladies were masculine, and also they misjudged just to be an LGBT meeting that they were not informed of. They didn't sign off before we did. So that was when they
It's a
promised that
milestone.
they will adopt us. So the National Queen Mothers Platform of Ghana, which all Queen Mothers in Ghana, paramount Queen Mothers and kings who are women belong to, adopted us. Then they brought us to Accra to meet their national executive, the 14 national executives, to do the same presentation to the 14. When we were doing the presentation,
which year was that when you first met with the Queen?
2023. 2023.
Yeah.
Yes. So a month later, they invited us to their meeting in Accra, and we did the presentation to the National Queen Mothers platform, the executives.
Powerful.
Then during the presentation, one Queen Mother kept crying. So got to a point they had to walk us out because it's a taboo, or it is wrong for a Queen Mother to cry in front of others, to eat in front of others, or drink in front of others. And this is a paramount Queen Mother of one of the regions in Ghana was crying bitterly during the presentation. So they walk us out, calm her down, they walk us back in. And that's when she confessed that she never knew all these things we are saying. She has it. She's 51 and her child is now 4 years old. And a traditional ruler without a child is difficult. She's gone to hospital, they say her testosterone, her this, her that, so she has to do insemination, has to be spend millions of Ghana cedis. Be bedridden for 9 months. They literally have to create a child into her. And all these medical terms we are calling, the doctor had told her that her testosterone, she's male inside and female outside. And she didn't know. And that changed our fortunes for life. Seeing one of them having a condition like us and didn't even know the name of it until we presented and she saw it herself. And they told us that they want us to do a national tour, every chiefdom, every palace, every region, to educate the traditional leaders. And so we had to write back to our donor, reprogram the whole money from one meeting to 10 meetings. And it's very expensive to host Queen Mothers. They came with regalia, people who carry the umbrella, people who take the stool, they came with drummers, the drivers, not less than $10,000 each meeting to host Queen Mothers.
I'm glad you painted that picture, because viewers, listeners, the people, the leaders we are talking about in Africa, these are respected. Like, we watch from a distance from our countries, and you can tell these are people that are respected. So to see that Key Watch Ghana actually sat and came up with a strategy to go to those leaders and choose to go to the mothers for that softer landing, that is very strategic. And I believe that this is a lesson to the rest of us, wherever we are, in whichever area we are working in terms of human rights. We can pick a leaf from Key Watch Ghana's book for what you did, man. Thank you so much. I read about the Queen Mothers, and that it very little, but I knew it was powerful, and it actually shows how far you've come and how much you have achieved. But in the interest of time, we will go to.
If I can add, they have access to places we cannot enter. They can go to the presidency. They can go to the state house. They can go to many places we cannot enter. So once the Queen Mothers were on board,
and they have adopted the intersex Ghanaians,
legally signed a contract with us to adopt us. Yeah.
That is powerful. That is so good. It is an achievement, not just for Ghanaians, but for all of us in Africa, because somewhere, even through such shows, it extends to the rest of Africa. But we will go into policy, the policy landscape, legal and all that, and let's talk about policy or the lack of that. Are there any national protections, and this is to both of you or each one of you, are there any national protections for intersex people in Ghana, in health, education, identity? And we know that Ghana has made you activists have made a big push to have intersex removed from the anti-LGBTQI bill, in Ghana. And can you talk us through that? Has that been taken out of that bill? And do you ever feel erased in the... Let's start. Let us
Okay,
start with
so
that.
with the bill,
Policies or laws, how they affect you
yeah,
or not affect you.
okay. So at the moment, there's no specific policies that support intersex persons that mention us specifically. There's no, the SOP of the hospitals do not have any standard operating policy that talks about how intersex children should be handled. It's only by the discretion of each nurse or doctor that is able to get their birth done. And in schools, we were virtually, most of us were thrown out of schools. We couldn't finish. We're seen as a taboo. And it was
Right.
normal to kill an intersex child. It's perceived that you didn't come well. The baby didn't form well, so go back and come again. So it was normal. It wasn't even seen as a murder to just kill the intersex child to go back. So when I was working at OAC HR in Geneva, and then I saw that there was a bill in Parliament and intersex was supposed to be criminalized, and I was really taken aback because now this is me leaving the country, getting my dream job in Geneva, and want to do human rights work at the UN level. Then now myself and people like me want to be criminalized back in Ghana. So the best thing was either to stay and be a criminal in my home country or to return and fight. So I reached out to a few people like Elena Robeskin and other activists in the world. Elena specifically literally adopted me throughout these years and helped me to write a memorandum. But then I've not written a memorandum before. To write a memorandum, because by then Elena was the intersex champion to ILGA World, the one representing intersex person at ILGA World. So it's around a consultant or something like that. So we wrote a memo to Parliament, and I thought, okay, just email to them and they present physically, and then they will handle it. Then they wrote to us to come. I was scared to my bones. It's a country that I'm from. My whole family is here. Now there's an anti-LGBT bill. Now I'm coming to fight against that bill openly on national TV. But there's a part of me that says, either you wait there and come one day and be killed or be attacked, or you come and fight from being attacked. So I came down to Ghana, went to the Parliament, and it was live on national TV. You can Google it at any time, you'll see Parliament. That's where we presented our memo. And they asked questions. And you could see that they were so ignorant.
What was the, just very briefly, the content?
Yes. It was in February 2022.
No,
where
as in this document, were you making specific asks? Or...
Yes, the specific, we asked three specific things. We're saying that one, we should be removed from the bill. The I should be removed from the bill because we are not a sexuality, we are sex characteristics.
Yes.
And two, the bill also want to prescribe treatment in terms of how do you call this one? Trying to cure people of homosexuality and all that.
Yes.
And part of this treatment is to force intersex surgeries on people. So if I am a parent who has an intersex child who refuse to bring the child to be given surgery, you will get 5 years. If that child is 18 and above, also gets about 10, 15 years. Yes. And then we wanted the bill, LGBT right bill, anti-LGBT right bill should be thrown out because it's stand against the right of the child, right of women, and all that. So three major acts we were asking. First, remove us from the bill because we are a biological thing. Secondly, that false treatment you are giving every LGBTQ person, it is inhuman. It goes against every protocol that Ghana have signed to, every treaty, every mechanism we work with. And also, the bill in itself, it's a no-no. Ghana should stay away from it. Yes.
And how did that go, Salamatu? Were you a part of this process? Do you remember? And what was the outcome?
Okay, so actually I didn't go with him because I didn't go with him.
Do you want him to?
You said?
Did you want him to tell the story?
So
tell the part that you remember.
I should tell the
But
fact
anyway,
that
the horse is here, because I have another question for you. Since the horse is here, I mean a nice horse. Please tell us what happened. What was the reaction of the legislators, and were you successful in having I taken out of the anti-LGBTIQ bill? Sean.
Okay. So yes, why we did not take many of our persons there, also accompanied by Davis Makiala to Parliament, it's because by
Again,
then,
Davis Makiala was
yes,
there.
yes.
I
So he sat
salute you.
right by me, holding my hand through reading my statement to Parliament, and parliamentarians asking me questions. He was giving me tips in my ear what to say, how to answer each of them. But because by then, I was working in Geneva. I could just literally leave Ghana if this backfires.
Yes.
Davis was international already, could also leave.
Yes.
But by then, many intersex people could not even accept themselves, let alone step out of the screen to face it. So I had a bit of privilege to run out of Ghana if I'm chased. Actually, my ticket was booked just after Parliament. So right from Parliament, I was straight to the airport, back to Geneva. I did not spend 10 minutes
Right.
after Parliament, straight to the airport, but
Why?
because even then I was scared. So many didn't have that privilege. So why put
Yeah.
all your community members you just gathered recently together and put them in the harm's way? So why won't you
Right.
go where you feel you are a bit protected? So I had
Right.
visas in my
Yes.
passport. I could easily run away. Actually ran away just after Parliament, straight to the airport and left the country, and then returned later to continue the work. What was really scary then. So that's why we didn't. And then by then, Salamatu was going through a lot, just going through. Now we just discovered
if it was to be
Salamatu.
now, I would have
Yes,
gone with you.
yes.
If it
You
was
would
to
have
be now, I
Yes,
would have
yes,
gone with you.
yes.
yeah,
Because now
but
I have accepted myself fully. I have
Yes.
fully accepted myself.
Yes.
yeah.
So
Congratulations, Salamatu.
and it which worked. It really worked because from there, even media houses chased me to the airport. I had to grant interviews and all, and it was trending on the media houses. So Ghana was forced the preparedness of the bill to review, in the government white paper on the bill. Intersex was one of the things government of Ghana then, Attorney General's white paper recommended to the preparedness or the sponsors of the private members bill to remove from the bill, to remove the I from the bill,
Yes.
because that one, we have no choice on that. So once we got that, and then the pre-mandate support, we step out of the shadow, started showing our face, put our name on the building, and all manner of that. But before then, we were scared to our bones because the environment was very toxic.
So with or without the intersex, the I in the bill, first of all, Salamatu, has this bill passed into law yet? And also, what has been the effect on the intersex community?
Okay, so intersex persons are, let me say, scared because at first we cannot even come out and advocate.
Mm-hmm.
So through Sean's hard work
Mm-hmm.
in advocacy and education, we are able to come out now as intersex persons
Mm-hmm.
and advocate and educate people about intersex. At first, we cannot even say we are intersex. Meaning
Mm-hmm.
it should be something that you should hide. Even the doctors will tell you, do not tell anyone this. The doctors will even tell your parents, let's have a quick surgery so that no one will know.
Mm.
Yes.
So the law, the anti-gay law in Ghana, how is it affecting? Has it passed, first of all, into law, and how is that? What is the effect of that on the intersex community,
Okay, then let me take that.
with
Because
or without the removal of
yes,
the I? Even if
yes,
it's just a bill. Yes, Sean,
yes.
go ahead.
So the first bill ended with the past government, with the past parliament, because they couldn't finish the process. The president refused to sign, and it was in court. So when the term of the fourth parliament was over, the bill expired. But this
Mm.
new government, they had 7 persons in the sponsors of the bill. So now they are in power. They've retabled the bill in parliament. In power, they've
Ah.
retabled the bill in parliament again, and it's going through the processes. Yes, but we are also trying to get access to the new bill. It's difficult. They've really locked it down. to see,
to see.
is the eye, to see is the eye still removed? Because now government is also telling the private, first it was a private members bill, meaning parliamentarians come together and sponsor a bill. But now government is saying they want to make it a government bill. So the private members should stop their process. So we all are on a standby to see the new documents, to see what is in it. But we are not waiting on our oars for the bill, actually. We are actually working behind the scenes with stakeholders all over to make sure that with that, what you understand is that intersex is just the biology. Yes. So we cannot say because the eye has been removed, it will not affect us. Many people, when they see me as a very feminine male person with more female chromosomes, they're going to beat me first. Even if I shout, I'm intersex, they'll finish beating me.
Yeah.
Yes. If they see a female looking person with more masculine or chromosomes or male chromosomes, they will think it's going to be a trans man or as the person is going to be a lesbian. So they'll beat you first. They will kill you first before. Even if I shouting I'm intersex, they will not let you go. So it's a collective fight that we have to fight to make sure that we all are free. And because the biology is all about biology, the sexuality can be any sexuality in the mix as well. So we cannot sit and let one side be criminalized and say we are biologists, so we have nothing to do with it, because once it starts from there, it will get back to us as well. So the bill is going, but we are working behind the scenes to make sure it doesn't come to light again. But now it's more difficult because the sponsors are now in power.
Yeah, every now and then I see horrible news from Ghana about this bill. Salamatu, as we move closer to the end, your story, I mean, from your beginnings to where you are now, because even right now the challenges are still there. You're just a strong woman. How have you managed to survive over the years? What has kept you going? What keeps you? Because now you just said, if things were different, you would have been in that parliament with Shone. It means you're so ready to go all the time. You're just so ready to fight for humanity. What has kept you going? What has brought healing, if any, to you over the years, right from when you were little and being taken from, you've gone through a lot. How do you manage to go on?
Thank you so much. So now I have fully accepted my condition with my whole heart after meeting TIHA Ghana and Intersex Movement Ghana. At first, I was made to believe that I was a curse until I met TIHA Ghana. At first, I wasn't having confidence at all till I met TIHA Ghana. At first, I was having anxiety. Depression and anxiety became unwelcome companions till I met TIHA Ghana, where I got to know that I am not alone. We are a lot in this world, and we are common, just that we are unheard. We are common than twins, and we should be proud of who we are. And through TIHA Ghana, I've found a lot of intersex colleagues, from friends, 10 siblings, and we encourage each other day in, day out without rest. Of course, I'm human. Sometimes I feel down, but with my colleagues, I feel okay. And with Sean's support, I am okay. And also, when they wanted to take my testicles out, because doctors advised that we should take them out because there's a risk of cancer, I was lucky Sean discovered me. If not, today I would have been depending on hormonal replacement therapy for the rest of my life. So through TIHA Ghana, I have come to know that intersex genital mutilation is nothing but a harm to the human body. If a male is proud to be called a male and a female is proud to be called female, why then can't it?
Yes, we have them back right now. Welcome back, Salamatu. Welcome back, Sean. Salamatu, we had you had just given us a very powerful closing there about intersex body mutilations and how they are not a good practice if people are comfortable with how they are. And Shone, thank you so much for holding Salamatu's hand, but it also shows that you have held the hands of so many intersex people in Ghana. And we thank you so much because as you visit us here today, you are holding the hands of so many intersex Africans and probably citizens of the world. But just as we close, I have two questions, one to each one of you. And I request Salamatu to leave a message for parents, not only in Ghana, but also in Africa, even in the world, that find themselves being parents of intersex children. What message would you like to leave them today? And for Shone, intersex people who have been walking this world for a number of years already. Some of them are out of their parents' homes. Some of them are as old as the Queen Mothers, and they don't know yet, or they just found out. And something that stuck with me, they have the little shame. What message do you have for those individuals, especially in Africa? We'll start with you, Salamatu, to intersex parents, and then we will end with Shone, to intersex people who are already walking the face of the earth and confused, don't even know what to do. And I will ask Studio to fill the screen with each of our guests as they speak. And we will start with you, Salamatu. As you say bye to our audiences, leave your message.
Thank you so much to the intersex person's parents. I encourage you all to love your children and to hold them in high esteem. Your womb has bore someone special and someone unique. I'll also encourage you to study further about intersex. With that, you are going to accept your children as who they are and love them as they should be loved. To their siblings, I also encourage you all to accept your siblings who are intersex persons, to love them, to be kind to them, because we are also human. Thank you.
Okay, so mine is that it is estimated that 1.7 to 2% of a given population is intersex or is born with intersex conditions. And as at the time this UN data came out, they counted mostly the ambiguous genitalia. If we have to go by that data, it means that about 500,000 Ghanaians, which form 1.7 to 2% of the population and more, are born with intersex conditions. It means that there are a lot of people out there who do not even know. And the variations we have looked at shows that you can know at birth, know at puberty, know at a later time of adult life or later time of life. So with your variation hiding and not triggered yet in your body, you can at any moment get to know you are intersex. It can start working even when you are in menopause, when in your later years, when you are older, is when your variation will start manifesting. So you need to understand that once it can be you, the honors follow you as human to fight for every intersex person. It doesn't show on face. It is not cast in stone. It's not cast in one type of body to be intersex. For now, we have 46 different types. And ask yourself, if you really do all the labs, won't you find your vibration? You will. So if you also are abused tomorrow, when you come out as intersex, how will you feel? For that reason, we need to make the world a better place for intersex persons. And once we made the world a better place for intersex persons, we have made it for ourselves, our generations after us, and their generations. And that way, humanity will strive on and on. And let us know that sex is not binary. Sex is not just male and female. Sex has many sides to it. Let's embrace it and let everybody contribute meaningfully to their country to make sure that our sustainable development goals are attained and the drive to reaching 2030 is achievable. Thank you, and over.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Salamatu. Thank you so much, Shone. Thank you for being here with us today, and your courage, your organizing, your refusal to be erased has gifted us a legacy, and we are very proud of you. Thank you for the work that you do on the continent. Thank you for holding hands. Thank you for comforting many. Thank you for helping others to move forward. I'm going to meet you backstage. Please don't go back to Ghana before we have that cup of coffee. So don't log off, but you'll be backstage for coffee with the team. And to the audience, intersex people have always existed. The only difference is that today, intersex people are visible. Intersex people are vocal. Intersex people are victorious, as you have heard in this. Yes, times are hard, but we have fighters on the ground taking this mission of liberation for everybody forward. This was Trans and Intersex History Africa. History just happened. Thank you very much, and see you next Friday with yet another archival conversation. Bye bye.